Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of CookieCast. Today on CookieCast, it's the football podcast. The guys are here. They're talking kind of about last week's games. I think you probably know by now, but there was some dual recordings to make things happen, so probably a lot less of last week's games to go through, but there's certainly this week's games to talk about. So, still plenty of football to discuss. Before we get started, please do consider like, share, subscribe and comment. Leave a review where you can leave a review. Obviously the big one, the one that we love the most is, let's say you know someone, they're like, hey, I like football. And you're like, I listened to that podcast that was about football. I wonder if this person would like that podcast. The answer is yes, they will. So send this podcast to them and they'll be like, thanks. Right, let's get started. Here we go. This is CookieCast, the football podcast.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and it's week 2. Correct, week 2 of the football season, and obviously at this point both myself and Mr. Woodmansey have lost any sense of self-respect for our teams as their results from last week will clearly show you. Obviously, as we discussed on last week's podcast, hands up, full disclosure, we're doing these ones ahead of time, so we're coming at you not knowing the result of the Middlesbrough and Hull games, sadly, from week 1, so we can't give you the results from week 1. We can give you our season-long predictions for both the Championship and the Premier League. So, without wasting any time of either my own, or Mr. Woodmansey, or Mr. Moores, or even yours, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump straight in to the Championship season-long predictions. So, we'll go with the usual: who will win the league, who will be the second team to gain automatic promotion, who will be the team that wins the playoffs, who will be the 3 teams that will be relegated, and who will be the league's top goal scorer. So, we'll start off nice and simply with who will win the Championship. I think we might have a little bit of similarity in this, but I will open us up. I have gone with Ipswich Town to win the Championship. Is there anyone in agreement with me there? Yes, I see a hand up from both. It's a clean sweep. We've all gone for Ipswich. Is it basically too easy to say that they're, of the 3 teams that came down there, probably the team that's in the best position to bounce straight back?
Well, they did buy the Championship Team of the year after, when they went up. So, yeah, I mean, the only thing they've got to do is buy a striker, and obviously that is in the offing as we speak. That would be my only concern. And full disclosure, I'd forgotten that Ipswich were there. So I'd kind of gone, Southampton will win the league. More of that in a minute.
This is going to go 1-2 all around the house, isn't it? This is going to be...
So no surprises there. Obviously, we discussed it in the first week. There's talk that they're trying to sign Hayden Hackney from the Borough, a fee which would have been a record for a championship transfer was agreed. But then Hackney turned down or he couldn't agree personal terms, so the deal has not gone through.
In that situation, when I saw that, I was like, if it's 20 million, I really hope that Forest's ears pricked up with that, and I hope that the likes of Elliot Anderson and Morgan Gibbs-White, who've both played with Hayden Hackney in the under-21s, were like, 20 million? Yes, please. We'll go and sign him because he is quality. He was quality in the under-21s, European kind of thing, and that feels like a bit of a theft, to be honest with you. If Forest could buy him for 20 million. And I think the unfortunate thing is Forest have got this kind of apart from Tyler Binden, oh no, we're not buying from the lower leagues now. We've got to buy players that are ready to go like in the Premier League. But I think I would buy him if I was a Premier League team for 20 million. Yes, please.
Just very quickly, just on the Ipswich thing though as well. Not only did, like you said, they buy the Championship Team of the Year because they knew what was going to happen, sensible, but also add into the fact that they've now they've lost Liam Delap to Chelsea. It's looking like they're going to replace him with Akpom and still have approximately a fuckload of money left from the Chelsea deal. So they've done all right out of that because even if things are there or thereabouts in January, they're still going to have a little bit of cash spare to reinforce again. So I can't see that really going any other way at the moment.
Yeah, I won't be surprised. So we'll move swiftly on to the team that we have finishing second, and by the sounds of it, I believe you two are both in agreement there. Would it be simple to say that you've both gone with Southampton as your team to finish second?
Yes.
I haven't.
He's picked Borough, hasn't he? He's going to pick Borough. You watch.
Well, if any of you were paying attention last week when we discussed our Middlesbrough predictions, you'll know for a fact that I definitely have not picked Middlesbrough.
Yeah, you can play for points. It's fine, Paul. Don't worry.
Yeah, fuck it. They're going to win the lot.
He's going to predict them to
They're going to finish first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth.
And just cheeky relegation just in case it really does go tits up.
Why not? It's like the guy who backs every horse in the race. It's like, oh, no, I want a winner. Yeah. I'm probably going to be wrong, and Southampton will probably win the league now, but they got battered last season, and it sometimes takes a toll. Like, losing's a bad habit to get out of, and you do see sometimes that teams go down and then struggle. Obviously, case in point, Luton from last season. And then I was thinking, well, Leicester are due this points deduction, so are they really in the mix for automatics?
Oh, they're a shit show. I've not even considered them for promotion. Full stop. Because have they got a manager yet?
Leicester.
Yeah.
Who's the Leicester manager?
Exactly, because they got rid of old
Van Nistelrooy.
Yeah, and that was shitty. So I'm hoping that Karma comes back and gets them because the way they treated him was proper shitty. They dragged it out. But I don't know who their manager is. Chris Davis? Who was that? No, is that?
I can't think who it is off the top of my head. That's annoying. But yes, so for the second season in a row, I've gone with Coventry to finish in second. Finished the season well under Lampard. It looked like they've improved the squad, so wouldn't be surprised if they're in the top six. So yeah, I've gone with Coventry to finish second. Personally, like I say, I'll probably be wrong. It's probably going to be one of Southampton or Ipswich. So we'll see. So that just leaves us with the third team to get promoted. Does anyone want to start us off with a promotion through the playoff team?
I've gone.
I've gone for teams that make up the playoff places. I didn't realise we were just picking one.
Oh no, this is just a team that you think will actually win the whole lot.
All right, okay, that's fine.
Matt,
I've gone with Birmingham. I don't like it, but I feel like they're going to chuck an absolute bucket load of money. They're already showing it. So yeah, I think Birmingham.
I've not gone for Birmingham, mainly because I think it. Obviously, Ipswich did the bounce straight from League One to the Premier League. I don't know if Birmingham were at the same level. Like, I know they're signing a lot of players and stuff like that, but that sometimes
they're on the TB12 diet. Alex Thingy's going to be over there. Splitting himself between Vegas and
avocado on toast out, lads. We're going to the Premier League. Fuck off. Jesus. Yeah, I think it might be a little bit too much too soon for Birmingham. So I've gone for Leicester. I reckon their squad is good. Fair enough, they'll have a point deduction, but I don't think it's going to be huge. I think they'll keep around the top six, and I think they'll just have too much for anyone else in the playoffs. They'll probably
shit coming.
To be honest, if they get to the final against Sheffield United, they're nailed on to go up because Sheffield United are fucking cursed when it comes to the playoffs. So that just leaves Mr. Woodmansey.
Similar vein to what you said for your second place finish, but I don't believe they'll be quite that good. But as annoying as it is, they have been very good under Lampard so far. I think Coventry have been the nearly boys a few times, so they've probably got that experience in the locker now. So Coventry for the playoffs.
So no agreement there. I've gone for Leicester, Stu Coventry, Matt with Birmingham City. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, throw a blanket over them 3 teams. Bloody hell. So that just leaves us with. I'll tell you what, we'll go for the top scorer next. I've gone for a guy who the last time was in the Championship was very prolific, and he was actually playing for my team. I'm going for Cameron Archer to have a bit of a bang.
I thought for a second you were going to say Patrick Bamford and just hope he picked up a club.
Well, let's keep an eye on that.
God, no, please no. I hope your bench has got some nice cushions on it. I want to say bench. I clearly mean the trainer's bench. Go on then. So what you've gone for?
I've gone for Cameron Archer. So obviously, like the last 2 seasons, he's been in the Premier League with Sheffield United and Southampton, and he's looked a little bit sparse. Not really got the service. He's not really got the goals. But I think at the Championship level, he's proved that he can score. And I think we're probably looking at high, low 20s, mid 20s. I think at least. I don't think he'll get as high as 30 or anything, but I think he will be up there as one of the top scorers. So I've gone for him. Anyone else want to send a guest forward?
I've gone to go with my Birmingham prediction. I've gone with Jay Stansfield. But when I was looking on the Sky Bet odds, speaking of people who did well in the Championship the last time they were there, Sami Smodic is 12 to 1 to be the top goal scorer, which last time I checked, last time he was in the Championship, wasn't he not the top goal scorer in the Championship? So I'm just a little tip for people there. I've already put £2 on it. So there you go.
You listen carefully, ladies and gentlemen. Andy's ears definitely just pricked up. Just leaves Mr. Woodmansey again.
I did the thing of looking at the teams I'd picked for effectively the top 6, as I've now overestimated these predictions, and just went with a striker from one of those. So I've gone for Armstrong from Southampton.
Adam Armstrong. It's a solid pick across the board. I mean, we've got 2 Southampton players in there and a Birmingham City player in there. They'll almost certainly be in and around the top 6. So let's be honest. So that just leaves us with the 3 unfortunate teams that we have to be relegated from the Championship. Now, I don't need to really go any further. Can I all suggest that we may have got a certain club from South Yorkshire in the bottom 3? Not even in the bottom 3, in the bottom spot.
Yes.
The Hillsborough Dwellers in 24th. What on earth is going on at that club?
And the best is, John Textor's going to buy them. Have they not been through enough? Have they checked their emails?
An unfathomable situation has occurred when Sheffield Wednesday have won the FA Cup. And they've qualified for the No, they haven't. They've qualified for the Conference League.
It's when they're like, he's a terrible owner. He's a terrible owner. I'm thinking, wow, it was the ex-Portsmouth guy that took him over as well and nearly ran him into the ground.
Milan Mandarin.
Yeah, that's the one. I'm like, they just line them up, don't they? Like, no club can ever complain about their owners when they sit there and go, all right, then, well, Sheffield, when they had the Portsmouth guy, then they had this guy who's run them into the ground, and oh, yeah, their knight in shining armour was John Textor, who is incompetent at best. Yes, no one can ever complain again.
I mean, at this stage in time, I feel like I cannot say anything because I may well have entered that particular glass house and may not wish to throw stones. We shall see possibly at the end of the season, eh?
So everyone's gone for Sheffield Wednesday to finish dead last. This is when we might get a little bit of differences of opinion. 23rd, I've gone for Preston North End, mainly for the fact that they finished the end of last season like a fucking dumpster fire, and they were lucky to not go down because Luton were shitter than they were. They've lost their top scorer from like the last couple of seasons, Reece. I don't think they've really replaced him that well. There's a lot for that team to sort of improve on, and I don't see it happening. So Preston for me.
I've got Charlton in that slot. I think that they have improved on the team that has got promoted, but I still don't think they'll be massively strong. And I don't think they'll any kind of launch up the table. I don't think will be sustained. So I've got Charlton.
Matt?
I've gone Oxford because I don't like Gary Rowett.
But personal things aside, of course.
But
they were very similar towards the end of the season as well. They were just lucky they had a good start to the season. Well, they picked up when he took over and then kind of bundled their way to the end. They were in and around the relegation.
I think from how our season panned out last time, they were the ones where it was like, oh, they'll start dropping points soon. Every single time we picked up points, them did it as well, and like they just would not go away.
So 23rd, we have Preston North End for myself, Charlton Athletic from Stu, and Oxford United from Mr. Moore. My 22nd place, I've gone for the thing that's been mentioned just then. I've gone for Charlton Athletic as well. Again, I think they were the third team to come up from League One. The other two aren't going to be anywhere near the bottom three. So, although I'm not as convinced that Birmingham are going to do that well, they might be in the top six, might not. Don't see Wrexham being anywhere near. I think they're going to be closer to the bottom than they are the top, personally. But I don't think they're in any danger of going down. Yeah, so I've gone for Charlton. I just think that probably don't have as much quality in the squad that they need. Might struggle to sort of get to speed with the league at first, and I just think they'll run out of steam come the end of the season. So Charlton for me.
This might raise a smile or two. I've gone for Derby.
Ooh. Any particular reason why?
Yeah, sort of similar to some of the last sort of reasons given. Realistically, aside from 3 games at the end of last season, one of which was a 1-0 win against us that me and Matt were at, they absolutely tanked. And I just feel that they've got that whole kind of like we're still a big club kind of thing, but I don't know. I feel like at the moment they're just riding just a little bit above their station.
Yeah. Annoyingly, there's another podcast that I listen to and watch on YouTube where the guys who run it are Derby fans, and then when they did their pre-season predictions, and I had to have a bit of a chuckle to myself that they had Borough in 15th and they had Derby something like 11th. I was like, come on. I mean, like I get it that you sort of like you're passionate about your own club and stuff like that, but let's be realistic. Are you honestly thinking that Derby are a better side on paper than Borough? I mean, come on. Like, player for player, it's not even a competition. And yeah, I just find it weird when the case in point, which we'll come to when we get to the Premier League thing, but seeing all these Sunderland fans like doing like predictions and stuff and saying, "Oh yeah, we're definitely finishing at least 17th." Like, come on, you're probably going to finish bottom. You're probably going to lose about 25 games at least, and it's going to be a slog. Just like it's the same. Like if Borough had gone up, I'd have been predicting to come straight like that. Just because we're not like the gap between the Premier League and the Championship and the Premier League, it's just getting bigger and bigger each season.
Okay.
And I think we're potentially at a point where the gap in the Championship going that way, where you've got the teams that come down. Obviously, Luton was a bit of an anomaly. No one really knows what happened there last season. But the teams that come down from the Premier League are going to be in and around the top six each year. Then you've got that next group of, say, like 4 or 5 teams that are there or thereabouts pretty much every season. They're either in and around the playoffs or they're sort of finishing between sort of like 5th and 10th.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like the power teams in the Championship. And Derby aren't in it.
No, they're not.
And
And I have to be honest though, the only reason that I've not, like genuinely, like again a month ago, I would have put Hull in that same position as, and it seemed to me it seems that whilst we've had our hands tied, as we talked about on the last podcast, the business they've done has been pretty sensible, and again it boils down to all we've got to work off at this point in season before a ball is kicked is what those teams are like on paper, and I would. If I was looking at those squads on the list, I would absolutely take our team over their team any day of the week.
100%. And yeah, like I said, I haven't got them to go down, but I think putting them any higher than like 18th, I think is foolish. Personally, I know that Eustace came in, did like really, really sort of like good stuff with them and stuff like that. But saying they're going to finish in the top half, come on, just have a little bit of humility about yourself. Come on, actually, with Mr. Moore and his final team to be binned off down to League One.
I've got Preston. I think we already mentioned them. Preston, they've been like slowly dropping down the league as they go along. So yeah, I've gone Preston.
So clarifying there. So I've got Charlton, Preston, and Sheffield Wednesday. You have Derby, Charlton, and Sheffield Wednesday, and that has Preston, Oxford, and Sheffield Wednesday. Poor Wednesday, they have not got a hope. That's the Championship done and dusted. We're going to do the same, but for the Premier League now. Now, obviously, there won't be any sort of prizes for finishing second in the Premier League. So rather than who's going to finish second and who's going to win the playoffs, it's going to be who's going to be the 3 teams that make up the top 4 outside of the team that will win the league. So we'll go straight in with who we think will win the league this season. Let's go to Stu. Let's see which way Stu's leaning this season for the team that will win the division.
Liverpool, move along.
Oh, God. Matthew?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. What's the matter with you boys?
They won the league easily and then have spent a shit ton of money and will probably spend another pile of money on somebody in a minute.
True.
They've invested pretty well, I think, and they already had a good squad. And I don't want to be that guy, but they've got the sob story behind them as well. So, like, there's a lot going for them this year, and as much as I might not want it to happen, that unfortunately didn't stop it last year either. So,
True. I think it's going to be a bit closer this season. I think Man City have signed well, and I think they will bounce back and be in the mix for winning the league. Obviously, last season I went for Arsenal. That was foolish. Won't be making that mistake again. So Man City for me. And then we've got the other 3 teams that will make up the top 4. I'll just jump straight in here. I've gone for Liverpool to finish second, Arsenal to finish third, Chelsea to finish 4th. Now, obviously, you boys won't have the, but dare I suggest there might be some of the same teams in that sort of order?
I didn't quite catch yours there, but mine is Man City second.
Yeah.
Man United third, and Chelsea fourth.
Arsenal to not even make the top 4. Wow. Bold.
I'm trying. The problem is, it's one of them ones where you hear them signing players, but actually, nothing really kind of inspires you. I mean, Eucharist, they've spent 60 odd million. Has he really scored goals in decent leagues?
Well, I mean, if you look at his goals in Portugal, I think he's got something like 50 and 65 or something like that.
I said a decent league. It's Scotland South, Scotland Sunny, isn't it? Like that league, Jesus. You know, and what they bought the Brentford midfielder and Zubamende.
Woodmansey from Real Sociedad and Norgard from Brentford. And the one with the Norgard was apparently he's got the most like recoveries in key areas or some one of those bullshit statistics that everyone likes to bandy around.
I just don't think he's going to play. That one seems like 12 million for a bench player.
Right.
To replace somebody who we won't talk about. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's been on the edge for a while, and I just think this season might be just the season that Arteta just collapses into a pile of clothes or something like that on the sideline.
Wouldn't be surprised. Stu, your second, third, and fourth place.
So second, I have Man City. Third, I have Chelsea, and fourth, I have Arsenal. And much like Matt just said, I think this will be the season that we see the end of Arteta at Arsenal.
Okie dokie. Not so sure I agree, but stranger things have happened. Let's put it that way. So
I'm not sure what's going to go first. Either the Arsenal fan and owners' patience, because let's be fair, this Arteta project has been going for a long time now with not a lot of fruit bearing. Or if it starts badly and they keep poking the bear, that guy's head's just going to explode.
Laps into a pile of clothes.
You think he could walk?
Mm.
Interesting. We'll move to the other end of the table. And the 3 teams have got to go down. So we'll do it the same way we do the Championship. Can I offer up the red and white team from the northeast as 20th for myself? Anyone in agreement?
Yep.
Oh, Matt's shaking his head. So Sunderland for me, Sunderland for Stu. Matt, you've got your team to finish 20th?
Burnley. Because, once again, they're signing some cracking players, aren't they? Oh, and yeah. Who manages them, by the way? Cardigan boy.
Scotty boy. Yeah. I'll just jump in here. I've got Burnley to finish 19th, as previously discussed. They have signed absolutely nobody. They've got Scott Parker in charge. Need we say more? Stu?
Yeah, stick me on that as well.
Burnley. So, may there be a red and white striped team from the northeast turning up in their 19th place?
Red and white striped, not from the northeast.
From West London.
Brentford.
I don't know what we're talking about. They've not sold anybody.
They kept all their players, and their manager's definitely not Keith Andrews. Jesus Christ.
Whoa. Don't be slagging off Keith.
Big Keith. Oh dear. Yeah, I not to flash forward too much, but I have Brentford in 18th. I think the exact same thing that Matt said there. I think they could be on for we could be talking 10 games, 10 losses. I think at this point, I think Keith Andrews fills me with no confidence whatsoever. And fair enough, they've still got Wissa. He don't want to be there. So what's the point? Yeah, worried for Brentford, I would say. The eagle-eyed amongst you will notice 3 teams picked a way to go down. Not one of them Leeds United.
Can I step in here and say this is where I come in? And Andy, when you listen to this back, if you want to go around and kick Paul's head in, then feel free. Because I'm not gonna let the side down here. I am picking Leeds to get relegated. Mainly,
So,
I could not give a shit about the amount of players that they've bought, sold, whatever. That manager will not keep them up. He is not a Premier League manager. He is the epitome of a pub drinking game competition winner when it comes to managing in the Premier League. That he'd like to have a go at it, but ultimately ends in fucking disaster.
that is kind of what it boils down to, though. Isn't it? Like he's proven that the 2 times before that he's come up with Norwich that he's not cut out for the league. And obviously there was talk in the off season that
I was going to say they ummed and ahed about keeping him. There was like
it's never a good look. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't. I think at some point this the 3 that come up and the 3 that go down. I think it's got to break at some point for the good of the division. And I think Brentford
they might as well just have Premier League 1, Premier League 2, and kind of have that effectively.
So I think for me, they've brought in a couple of decent players. I think if they get 1 or 2 results at home to get them going, they might just have enough to sort of keep them up come May. So that just leaves Matt with his 18th place.
You know which club I'm going to predict in it because I predict them every season.
Is it the old gold from the West Midlands? But it's not the Black Country, isn't it? So,
Yep. They've lost again. They've lost good players. I don't know what they've replaced them with. Who's their manager? Is it still the same guy from last year?
To be fair,
I'm not saying that he's not a good manager because he did a good job with them to keep them up. But if you look at his record, he is flighty as fuck. There's no way that he'll last the season.
True, yeah. I just think with Wolves, they always seem to just like scrape together enough points.
They go in like
they do appear to
be.
So yeah, so there we go. Just to clarify, so I've got Brentford, Burnley, and Sunderland. You have Leeds, Burnley, and Sunderland. Matt has Wolves, Brentford, and Burnley. Not a single Sunderland pick in there for Mr. Moore. Interesting.
I just think they're going to just throw a lot of shit at the wall. I think they're going to effectively do a Forest. I think we kind of set the precedent of you buy a shit ton of players, you hope to stay up. Didn't work for Ipswich last year, but they came the closest, didn't they?
Yeah, but Matt, they've lost the second coming of Bellingham as well, so you know.
Oh, yeah.
Right, we'll move on. So this brings us to the top goal scorer in the division. Despite what Mr. Moore thinks, I'm confident you're correct for the top goal scorer. Sorry. Matt?
This is purely me trolling here. And it's if this transfer goes through. But I've gone for Alexander Isak just for the lols if he does. Yeah, I know he will have gone to Liverpool, and I know he will have scored a shit ton of goals for them, which will be really, really disappointing because we'll have to listen to them winning the league back to back. But the absolute lols will just them.
Now I can't fit it in the book, but I really want to put it Alexander Isak bracket lol, not for Newcastle.
Do you know what? I was talking with a Newcastle fan. Yes, I know one of those, and he was saying about the way that they're set up with Isak, Ballsack, whatever you want to call him, and I kind of agree with what he was saying in the respect of I don't know that he's the type of player that fits into that system that Liverpool play all that well. Their wingers are too greedy. So I think he will score, but Liverpool's track record of buying a star centre forward and turning him into a donkey, Darwin Núñez, um, will probably continue, I think, if he does go there. But either way, no shit's given here, so you know. And mine for the book, Paul, is Ekitike purely because I like to say the name. So.
If another person says, "Oh, his name's the same way around as if you put a mirror next to it," no, absolutely isn't, because your ear'd be the wrong way around, dickhead.
Also, as well, I'm pretty sure the E at the end has an accent over it, so it doesn't. So I think if you told somebody who spoke the native tongue, they'd be pretty pissed off about that.
Yeah, God, fuck off. Right, so that is all of our predictions for the Premier League done. We have a bonus prediction to do, but before we come back to that, we are just going to take a very small break, and we will be back with our prediction of how far Nottingham Forest will go in Europe. Don't go anywhere. And just like that, the break is over, and we now to select how far we think Nottingham Forest will go in Europe. Now, there was obviously a little caveat to this, as we've discussed in the podcast from this week and last week, in the fact that, as record, we don't actually know which competition Forest will be going into. As it stands, they're currently slated to go into the Europa League. But going on how the Crystal Palace appeal goes, they may yet be dumped back into the Europa Conference League. So we'll do a prediction for each competition. It might be the same, you never know. But we'll see how we go. So we'll go for the Europa League first. I think they could go quite far in both. I've gone for the quarter final for the Europa League. Any advance? Any advance?
I've gone with the group stage. I don't think they'll get out of that kind of group stage thing. They're just
for that, like the revamp, like league phase.
Yeah. I just think some of the clubs that drop into that after seeing United do what they did last year are going to be like, oh, like it's almost like it was a joke that you could get into the Champions League by winning the Europa League, and then people are going, oh shit, yeah, we can actually we can win a trophy and get into the Champions League. So I just think, unfortunately, I just don't think our squad's going to be deep enough to win that competition.
Mm-hmm. You?
I unfortunately have also agreed with Matt on that one.
Yeah, I see what you're both saying. Like, squad depth probably isn't there. I think all it takes, though, is obviously like if you win all your home, so if you win your 4 home games, you only really need like 1 away win and like a draw, and I think you're pretty much guaranteed to be in the top 16 that go through like automatically, pretty much.
Okay.
So, because there were teams that were like in the Champions, there were teams that went through like 3 wins. I don't think Man City had more than 3 wins, and they just managed to sort of scrape their way through and stuff like that. So I think it is possible that they could not win a lot of games and still sort of scrape into the knockout phase at least, at the very, very least. So we've got a group stage exit for both of them that I think got quarterfinals. Now, if they are placed back into the competition that they were originally placed into via their league position, which is of course the Europa Conference League, and as we've said in several podcasts before, that would be the creme de la creme of Latvian football that they'd be coming up against on the reg. Do we think that they would have enough in the tank to be the winner of that competition? I very much do think that would be the case. I think if they are in the Europa Conference League, because they are arguably the strongest club from the strongest nation in that competition, I think it would be, if they didn't get to the semi-finals, at least it would be a disappointment. But I think they'd have the whole thing.
So you're saying that they'd have to use the whole squad rotation, wouldn't they, to cope with the demand? So ultimately, whether he starts or not, that's Paul banking on Wood getting him a semi, right?
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. That is guaranteed Wood semi.
I think there's a very simple way of looking at the Conference League thing. Isn't that the one that West Ham won?
Yeah. And Chelsea last season.
And Forest are way better than West Ham. So, stick me down for that. They'll win that one.
You've got to remember as well, Olympiacos won it as well.
Oh, well.
So the big man's going to want to be like bossing it.
Yeah, but then you need to take that trophy on a parade on a bus, open top bus around London. Look, our owner and his previous club also won this.
Obviously, and winning the Europa Conference League does get him into the Europa League the following season. So, in a kind of strange way, could be that's probably Forest's best shot at getting back into Europe, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm fully on with that. I mean, I've bitched this one out a little bit. I've said they'll make the final. You said how far would they go in the cup? In the thing, how far would they go? They'll get to the final.
Do I put final or do I put runners up just to piss him off?
No, I said they get. You said how far will they go? I said they'll get to the final and say whether they win it.
You know full well we're very lucky here. When Paul asked that question, given his previous, he could have been looking for a level of the competition, or he could have been looking for it to the nearest mile. So,
yes, will they be drawn against a Kazakhstan club? So there you go. So if they are in the middle tier competition of the Europa League, we all think they will get to at least the group stage.
They'll definitely get to the group stage because they go straight into the group stage. They don't have to. It's a weird thing. They don't have to go through qualification for the Europa League, but they will have to do a qualifying thing for the Conference League. I'm like, what? So have an English team Conference League.
Yeah, it's baffling. Like for a lesser competition, you have to do more to get into it. Seems strange to me, but there you go. So there we have it. That is our season-long Premier League prediction, which brings us to Week 2's football matches. The first of which is my lot, Middlesbrough, travelling to London to take on the Filthy Boys of Millwall. Obviously, it's my team. My predictions will be last. Let's go to... Oh, it's also a 3 p.m. kickoff, and therefore will not be live on the Sky Telly box. Boo. Let's go to Stu for the first prediction of the week.
I have got a happy, set on the fence, 1-1 draw. I don't think Millwall is ever a nice place to go, whether there's a football game on or not. And therefore, I've got a 1-1 draw. I've got Ivanovic for Millwall and Azaz for the Borough.
Lovely stuff. I saw Matt nodding away in what seemed to be agreement. Have you also gone for a 1-1 draw?
I've also gone for a 1-1 draw.
Oh, lovely stuff. Goal scorers?
Coburn still plays there, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, he's literally just signed for him. So
there you go. Coburn and Conway.
I think you boys are mental. Borough will lose this game 1-0, and Josh Coburn will probably score from about 85 yards out, and it'll be an absolute ripper. Yeah, Patsy is getting him here. Not like you said, not a nice place to go. Probably, the worst place you could ask for to go for your first away game of the season. Don't like it. Yeah,
get out
of the way early, I suppose. 1-0 Coburn, Millwall win for me. Sadly. Our second game takes us up into the Premier League, where Nottingham Forest will kick off their season at home to, well, according to us, a relegation-bound Brentford. It's Matt's team. He will give his prediction last. I've gone for a nice, straightforward 2-0 Nottingham Forest win here. I've gone for Gibbs White, straight off the naughty step. Apologies, Mr. Maranaki. Sorry, Mr. Maranaki. I'll score you plenty of goals, Mr. Maranaki. Thank you very much. And a debut goal for Igor Jesus. Stu?
I have got a Forest 2-1 win. And I've got Sharda for Brentford. And I also have Jesus, but it's the first game. We can't not mention him, so stick Wood in the book.
Early portion of Wood. How do you see it going? I'm a Forest fan, Matthew.
I mean, after predicting them to go down, I've gone for a 2-2 draw.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. It's just sometimes you feel like they've had a bad kind of summer. You just feel like maybe that'll galvanise them a little bit. No doubt, Keith will bring the bus and they'll park it up and wait for Forest to break them down. But yeah, so I've gone Gibbs White and Jesus to score for Forest. And I've gone for, is it Sade, to be a smooth operator and get. Well, I mean, he played really well against us last year in that game, like right at the end of the season that kind of fucked the Champions League for us. And then Janelt. Those two. I honestly couldn't find a striker for them. That would be the kind of argument for them possibly not being great, because I looked on their website and strikers, not so much.
One thing I forgot to mention about the Forest game, I believe this is the beginning of Sky trialing their Sky Sports Plus for the Premier League.
Ah, right.
So, obviously, at several points last season, Forest were playing on Sunday, and they were in the death slot of 2 p.m. where none of the games were televised, apart from the one that Sky had picked. So they've been advertising all over the summer the fact that they've moved from 128 games to 250. And I believe that they're basically doing the same thing that they do midweek the Championship and early kick-off Saturdays
because they're not
the Championship. So
they're under the regulations.
Yeah, so because it's not a Saturday, it's got 3 p.m. I believe they can show it. So it's not listed as the official Sky Sports game, but it is shown as Sky Sports Plus.
Right.
I believe this will be the first of their Sky Sports trials. Also on Sunday, taking place at 3 p.m. and not on Sky, Hull City take on Oxford United. Don't really know what's happened here.
No.
Is there an explanation on the website as to why it's being played on a Sunday?
The only thing I can think of is it a clash with the absolute dullards that go and play with the egg shape. Let me see if I can find it. But yeah, it's on a Sunday at 3 p.m, which is for your first home game, and then make it against Oxford United. Why don't you just suck all the excitement out of it?
Yes, as it turns out, Saturday the 16th, Betfred Super League, Hull FC 17:30 against Leeds.
Do you know what I really enjoy about this stadium sharing, apart from the fact that they ruin our pitch season on season, is it's when your fixture as the highest grossing and possibly most popular team that play in said stadium has to be moved so that a team that have won one home game in just over a year gets preferential treatment. In a sport that possibly what? Oh yeah, nobody watches. I know that that's not the opinion of everybody on this channel, particularly some of the people on the F1 podcast may disagree with said comment. but at least they have the good sense to support the better team involved in said sport. So
Yes, obviously, Mr. Woodmansey not letting us get him down or get him in hot-headed at all, which is
no,
nice
it
to see.
doesn't. It doesn't touch any nerve.
This is our last game of the week, and does see Hull City taking on Oxford United. His team that prediction will come last.
I wondered if Paul was possibly going to drop out at that point because he is frozen on the screen.
I've frozen.
Nope. Paul was so excited at the prospect of Hull versus Oxford that he's just dropped off the podcast. Maybe whilst he's trying to get back, Matt, did you want to go?
Yeah, I mean, we'll obviously, we'll send these. Oh, he's gone. He's back.
Oh, boy, he's back.
So, was there talking away, just making just
Podcast
great
gold.
content. Oh, it was so good, so good. What was the last thing that anyone can remember me saying before I?
You literally went. It's the thing on Sunday, and then that was it. So we got approximately nothing.
Excellent. So, last prediction of the week. It's Hull versus Oxford. Obviously, Hull, Stu's team, he'll go last. Is Balumi still not fit?
He's in the same boat as Miller. He'll be
right.
End of September at the earliest.
I will change my mind then.
Unless the only way that changes is if they walk out of the tunnel full on Seth Rollins and just throw the crutches to a side and run on full kit.
Can you imagine?
A little bit of a crossover for the wrestling podcast listeners amongst you.
That's lovely stuff. In that case, I could pull something here that's like go for a guy that doesn't even play for him. But I've seen the rumours. Do I go for it? No, because then I look like a big tit when he doesn't sign me. I'll go for the big man himself, the tree. I'll go for a 1-0 full win with Crooksey to get the goal. Matt, what have you got down for Hull versus Oxford?
I've gone for a 2-1 Hull win. I've gone Destan and Crooks.
That just leaves the
main
man.
You've not had me Oxford goal scorer yet.
Oh God, yeah, I've not. Sorry. Oh, what an absolute wank stain. Destan.
That's his name. No, so it's Brian de Kirschmacher.
You absolute ballback.
I play this each week. Which name is going to predict?
Right, talk amongst yourselves while I find his name.
Oh, Brian, Brian.
Cheers. Thanks very much.
DE.
Thanks very much.
Kirschmacher, KEERSMAEKCK.
Shut up, Matthew. I mean, to be fair, it could have been worse. You could have gone for Placheta. Obviously, a great pronunciation for our Polish viewers and listeners there. Brian de Kiers me here. You just know when he smacks one in from like 18 yards out, Stu's going to be there. You absolute ball back and stuff like that. I'm just going to change my camera angle as I can't read that. Do you say something?
So, yeah, just to prove that when Paul gets to me, it was already written in the book before he'd said anything. The exact same prediction as Paul.
1-0 with the big tree himself. Will you be in attendance?
Yes, I will be in attendance. It'll be our first outing of the season. I was in a fortunate enough position to have a little chat with Charlie Hughes this week, and he was telling us how good that Crooksey is looking in terms of the season ahead. I already knew this, but he'd spent a bit of a portion of the summer sort of trekking, so he's not exactly sat on his arse and done nothing. And the question was posed at my boys' football training as a tiebreak situation a couple of weeks back as to who returned to the first day of training and won the fitness tests on day one. Nobody got the answer to this question, so whilst I was chatting to Charlie Hughes, I took the opportunity to ask him. And the answer to that question was Matt Crooks. So my money was on Charlie Hughes, which is why I asked him. No, he said it was Crooksy. So good to see.
Well, like I say, he was always well thought of at the Borough. It was always good. Like he was one of those guys who never seemed to go that many games without scoring. Like he would never go for like sort of a 20-game streak where he wouldn't score. He'd just pop up like just sort of. He was never prolific, but he'd keep ticking over. Like every sort of like 3 or 4 games he's back. Like
he's already proven that whilst he's not scored every game, the goals that he scored for us last season were important goals. Obviously, the most important would be the one at Portsmouth. But I think with the way that the transfer situation's gone, the way that the squad was looking at one point when they just got rid of everybody before they started bringing in these free transfers, his role was becoming more and more important. And I think that considering that they've still not got that many strikers through the door, it's good to hear that his fitness is in good shape and all the rest of it, because midfield-wise, we might even be there or thereabouts now. So I think his role is going to be possibly pushing forward somewhat.
I haven't actually taken that into account. The fact he could be the answer up top for him, like in a pinch. I'd not even thought about that, but yeah, that is obviously something that he did do at Borough for a time. He was almost playing as like a false 9. I hate that term, but he was basically playing as the old ball. But yeah, so it would be nice to see Mr. Crooks back in the goal. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is your week 2 predictions done and dusted. As always, thank you, the listeners, the watchers, and thank you, Mr. Woodmansey and Mr. Moore, for joining me to go through the details of their teams. Join us again next week, where we will have predictions for week 3 games. There are 3 of them that will roll forward. There won't be any predictions, there won't be any results to go through this week, as we are recording these ahead of time, as myself and Mr. Moore are not here to provide live in the moment updates. So thank you once again for this week. Join us again next week. We'll go through it all over again. Happy bye for now.
So there we go. What do you think of that? Another one done and another one gone. Big thank you for watching, big thank you for listening, big thank you for being here. Before you leave us, do consider like, share, subscribe and comment. That's if you haven't already. And if you are new here, check out the website, thecookiecast.com. There we have social media links and an email button, and that way you can get in touch with these guys. Anybody that does a podcast on CookieCast, get in touch with them. Just get in touch with all of us. Say hi. That is it for this one. Till next time, I'm going to say bye, and I'll see you then.
Thanks for listening to this episode of CookieCast.